Good morning, one and all. Today I am discussing about applied geotechnical engineering 18 CV 62 for 6 semester students under module 1 lecture class 1, that is introduction to soil exploration. So the content of today's presentation: soil exploration, or introduction, objects, importance. What is meant by soil exploration? Soil exploration means it is a process of determination of properties of the soil using field as well as laboratory test data is called soil exploration. That means before going to construct any structure on any soil, we should know what is the strength carrying capacity of the soil, what is the settlement behavior of the soil, and what is the permeability characteristics of the soil. These three are called as engineering properties of the soil. So these three are interrelated to each other unless the strength carrying capacity is unable to determine, we cannot possible to judge safe bearing capacity of the soil. Second thing is, if the settlement is not determined, then it is not possible to predict whether it may subject it to uniform settlement or it may subject it to differential settlement. If it is subjected to uniform settlement or differential settlement, next question is whether it is within the permissible limit or it is exceeding the permissible limit. If it is the permissible limit, then structure will be safe. If it is exceeding the permissible limit, then we have to do some ground improvement technique. To assess that characteristic, we should know soil exploration. And permeability. So there are some structures. Suppose if I am constructing an earthen embankment, the embankment material should be impermeable. So if we are constructing a filter material for roads, reinforced soil structure roads, or filter material around the core, between the core and shell, then it is a permeable material. So whatever soil that we are using, whether it is a permeable or impermeable, is very important, which decides whether we have to use it for a core material or a shell material in case of a dam, or whether we have to use it as a filter material in case of reinforced soil structure embankments. Next, what is the object of soil exploration? As I said earlier, a broad prospective of objective of soil exploration. Now we are going in detail about object of soil exploration. The primary object of soil exploration is, as I said earlier, determination of the nature of the deposits of the soil. That means what is the thickness of red earth layer, what is the thickness of black cotton soil layer, what is the thickness of silt deposit, clay deposit. So the thickness determination we have to do, because that will be very important for transferring the load to the safely the structural load to the ground. So to assess that thickness, we require soil exploration. That is first point. Second point is the thickness of varying strata. So whether the stresses from the structure will transfer to one layer or multiple layer, and that we have to decide it. And what is the extent of each layer? That depends. That decides whether we have to go for raft foundation or isolated foundation, etc. Next is groundwater table. Groundwater table will reduce the bearing capacity. Therefore, when we are designing the SPC, we have to take water table depth into consideration. To assess the depth of water table from natural ground level, we should locate the groundwater in the field. Next is the obtaining the soil and rock samples for various laboratory and field tests to assess other engineering properties and index properties. And sixth is the once we do soil exploration, we can decide what is the in situ properties of the soil and what type of field test we have to do. So all the tests which we are conducting in field may not be suitable for all the ground. For example, SPT, so test has to be done for one particular type of soil, plate load test has to be done for one particular type of soil, DCPT, dynamic cone penetration test, should be done for one particular type of soil, or SCPT, static cone penetration test, has to be done for one particular type of soil. For what type of soil, what type of test we have to do? To assess that one, we should require the soil exploration knowledge. Next, so I can say with this objective, the importance of soil exploration may be needed not only for the existing structure, because whatever we said, it is for existing structure, but suppose if some structure you are constructed, after some 5 years it is showing the sign of distress, it is tilting, then you want to prevent that tilting. For that purpose, you should know what and all the behavior of soil below the existing foundation. For that purpose, we have to do soil exploration. So I can say soil exploration is required not only for a new construction, it is also required for the existing construction. So below the footing, to assess the engineering and index properties of the soil, if at all the soil shows a sign of distress. So with this, we have to discuss about site investigation. What is meant by site investigation? Site investigation refers to the procedure of determining the surface and subsurface conditions of the area of the proposed construction. So how we have to do the sample collection procedure, transportation procedure, etc. So that depending on two criteria: what type of project it is, location of the project, and construction of reserved soil investigation. So that means, so whether it is for a small project, open pit is sufficient. If it is a larger project, deep excavations has to be done. And its location of project, whether the project is located near to the earthquake prone area, the testing procedure is different. If a project is located near to the non-earthquake prone area, testing procedures are different. So, and cost also play a vital role. Suppose if you are constructing some 10 lakh rupee project and if you are spending 5 lakh rupee for investigation, nobody will accept it. Owner or contractor will never accept it. So there should be some capping limit of use of the money for soil exploration that depends on project. Generally, less than 1% of the total project cost can be reserved for soil exploration. So, significant depth. What is meant by significant depth? It is a depth up to which, due to structural load on the footing, the variation of the stresses below the soil will take place. It is called as a significant depth, and significant depth will vary from 1.5 to 2 times B. So, where B is width of the footing. In case of black cotton soil, the significant depth we have to take up to 3.7 meter. In case of rocky strata, we have to go up to 5 meter. In case of loose soil deposit, we have to explore or excavate the soil till we get hard bearing stratum. Okay, so these are some of the module 1, class 1 MCQ questions. So I will ask some of the questions. The process of determination of properties of soil using field as well as laboratory test data is called as soil exploration. True or false? Answer is true. Yes. The primary object of soil exploration or determination of nature of the deposit of soil. True or false? The answer is yes, true. The determination of depth and thickness of the various soil strata and their extent in the horizontal direction. True or false? Answer is true. Not to locate groundwater table and fluctuation in groundwater table is the main aim of soil exploration. True or false? Answer is false. So the object of soil exploration is to obtaining a soil and rock sample from various soil strata. Answer is true. Black cotton soil, significant depth is up to, answer A, option A is 2.7 meter, option B is 3.7 meter, option C is 4.7 meter, option D is none of these. What is the answer, students? Yes, you are right. Answer B, 3.7 meters. The depth of investigation depends on nature of the project, location of the project. True or false? True. So usually the construction of a thoroughly investigation exploration program will be less than 1% of the total cost of the entire project. True or false? It is true. So these are all the list of the references I taken for preparation of this LMS module. Thank you one and all. Go through the MCQ questions. If you have any doubt, you can that is ask in next class. Thank you very much.